All right, welcome to another Fantasy Six Pack 2023 Fantasy Baseball players that we are drafting outside of the ADP or rankings top 150. Today we're going to be doing the outfielders, and with me is Austin Cull. Check out his own show here over on YouTube, the Fantasy Baseball on Deck. I forgot to introduce myself, Joe Bond, Fantasy Six Pack founder. You know me, I think. I'm out of it, man. I have had a cold for a week. I'm done. Let's just move on and do our lovely outfielder position that I should probably share. All right, let's rock and roll, man. So outfielders, we've got starting off here Teoscar Hernandez. Now newly acquired by the Seattle Mariners. Been a very, very good player over the last few years for the Blue Jays. I believe he's had some injury concerns here and there, but when he's on the field, man, the guy produces. So what do we like about him and his value for 2023?
Yeah, that's going to be the story about with every player that we have here in the undervalued, lower ranked guys. Is when they're on the field, they're great, but they're not on the field all the time, and that's the problem. And really with Teoscar Hernandez, because we talked about before recording, he kind of fluctuates in rankings depending on what site you use. So take this as it will. But Teoscar Hernandez is one of the more I would consider consistent outfielders, kind of in that mid grade over the last couple of years. Obviously, being in a Toronto lineup for the last couple of years has really benefited him. But just looking at him as an individual productivity guy, he's averaged around 283, 290 average over the last couple of years. He was over the last 3 years, he's been on a 28.5 home run average across the last. Okay, sorry, man, I'm all over the place. Last 2 seasons, he has been a 28.5 home run guy from a productivity standpoint. 3-year average wise, he's been a 283 batter. And in 2020, just for funsies, he was on pace to hit 46 home runs. And obviously that was a shortened season, but overall for the last 3 seasons, he's been a 1.8 total base per hit guy. So really somebody that you are just happy to plug and play every single day, super reliable, and relating that productivity to someone that anyone can be more, more understanding of is that he's had the same individual productivity as like a Jose Ramirez per at bat. But he just hasn't had as many at-bats because, again, as we talked about, had a couple injuries. And for the 2023 season coming up playing for Seattle, I think Seattle's going to be a pretty decent offense. He's moving into, a not-so-hitter-friendly ballpark, being the 28th out of 30 teams. But he was in Toronto as the 19th, home run-friendly ballpark and still always managed close to around 30 home runs per year. So I don't think it's really going to matter for him just because of how consistent he is.
Yeah, no, I really do like him, and actually I think people are maybe underselling the Seattle Mariners offense. I think they're really gonna step up this year. Getting a Teoscar Hernandez, man, they're really trying to go for it.
Yeah.
So all right, moving over here to the Minnesota Twins and Mr. Byron Buxton. I never know what to think with this guy, to be honest, man. I know the talent is there, and again, we just alluded to it. Injuries, this guy just does not stay on the field. But when he's on there, man, he is legit one of the best players in baseball, especially for fantasy. The average took a massive hit last year, but he still hit 28 and stole 6 bases in 92 games.
Yeah. It's another case of when he's on the field. I know if I've talked about people having an MVP caliber stats and being undervalued at whatever positions we've done so far, but Byron Buxton per at bat per hit has to be the most productive player, literally more productive than Mike Trout, more productive than even Stanton and Aaron Judge and these people, these monster mutant people that have ruled the game for a long time. he's ranked on ESPN as of right now at 189. And again, this upcoming season, he might be someone that, again, you just get stashed on your IL longer than not. But when he is playing, this is how productive he's been. So in 2020, he was on pace to hit 56 home runs if it was a full season. In 2021, he was on pace to hit 44 home runs if he played the whole season. In 2022, he was on pace to hit 45 home runs if he played the entire season, while still stealing bases. And, obviously it's plenty fast enough to get a ton of doubles as well. You mentioned that there is a dip in batting average. And I think for a guy that's just overall turned into just a power monster, while still being kind of a slim reaper, like not a very big dude, I just feel like you can't get much more value than Byron Buxton, like close to the 200s with that productivity. Last season, he averaged, and this was worse than even like 2021 and 2020, like he averaged 2.3 total bases per hit. He was averaging over a double per hit, which was better than Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, and Kyle Schwarber. He would have been number one in that category if he could just stay on the field. He is an anomaly. Like I just, he's a projected leadoff hitter. Like there's no way he survives the entire season. But like you think of a guy like the second baseman for the now Texas Rangers, who was on the Oakland Athletics for a long time, and now the Blue Jays. Help me out.
I don't know. I was not ready for that.
Yeah, the shortstop that leads the league in at bats every single year, and like always has like 30 plus home runs. It's
second baseman.
He's a second baseman shortstop. Yeah.
Oh, for the Rangers. I don't know.
The Rangers now. He had a crummy year last year, and then he turned it on at the end when we forgot about him. The Rangers were out of contention.
Marcus Semien.
Geez, thank you so much.
I don't know. You said something about the Athletics, and I was like,
he played for the A's forever.
Yeah, I know. There was too many teams being thrown around there. I wasn't ready for that.
I'm sorry. Like Marcus Semien is someone who like you can just pencil in as like gets the most at bats in baseball every single year at that leadoff spot, and still has the opportunity like to kind of hit like 30, 40 plus home runs every single season. Yeah. Like this is Byron Buxton. Like if they're going to keep him at that leadoff spot, even move him into the 2 or the 3, I just can't see any more value than you can get really at that position. Like I'm going to try to walk away with Byron Buxton every time if he's available. It's just a matter of, gosh, I hope he plays 150 games, 140 games. That's the thing with him.
I want to give one quick kind of strategy that I have with Buxton. I do not draft Buxton if I'm in any sort of head-to-head weekly league, because those weeks he misses, and then if he's out during your playoff run, that's killer. Rotisserie leagues, you can manage it, right? You just don't put him in your lineup. You got somebody to place him in. You find replacement stats. You find replacement stats for somebody in a head-to-head category league or something like that. That's a more painful grab for me, which is why. And I play in a lot of leagues like that, more so than rotisserie. So Buxton probably won't be in a lot of my teams. But let's move on here to same division. Oscar Gonzalez of the Cleveland Guardians. He had a pretty good season last year in a short amount of time. What do we like about him in 2023?
Yeah, he didn't of the 91 games that he played. The power was what we were supposed to see. Yeah, he's a 6'4", 240-pound man coming up, super duper young, big, strong guy, and all they talked about was like, man, this guy is really, really strong. In the minors, he hit 31 home runs across just 121 games in 2021, averaged 1.85 total bases per hit at a 293 average. So he really was like that hybrid guy of power and average, and never a lot of power without sacrificing average. Now, does he take a walk ever? No, he doesn't. He doesn't walk. He strikes out a decent amount, but the concept that he's still hitting 290. Yeah, he had a 3% walk rate. 3%.
Yeah, no, that's low. The strikeout rate's not bad. I mean, 19. You're going to take that nowadays.
Oh no, yeah, I think that's
phenomenal.
That's the phenomenal part of Oscar Gonzalez is that he's not taking a ton of walks. Not that I care about walks. I lead my fantasy leagues in strikeouts just about every year because I'm going with guys that are boom or bust just about every plate appearance. Yeah. But in 91 games last season, he hit a 296, as you can see on your screen. He had a 1.56 total bases per hit across that span with 11 home runs. And it's like, it's not really like a whole lot to be like, maybe be a ton excited about. Like, big, strong guy hitting for average, whatever. But then really where he turned it on was last final 59 games of that 90, of that 59 is when he hit 9 of those 11 total home runs, and he was hitting over 300 at a 301 average. So I just feel like, this is a guy who is coming into next season really has his feet wet as the right fielder full time in Cleveland. And I could be more excited about Oscar. I think he's going to have a really, really good opportunity to make a run at the AL Rookie of the Year honor, and we'll see what happens.
All right, and to finish off with our highlighted players here, we got a little bonus for you here for these last 3 positions because they are a little deeper. Giancarlo Stanton of the New York Yankees. Obviously, we know what this guy can do, but we also know what he can't do, right? And it's at this point, it's hitting for average is going to be a problem, although with the shift going away, that's going to help. Power is going to be there, but availability isn't always guaranteed with him. So why do you like him as somebody to target later in drafts?
I have never been a guy that's I come away with Stanton since he's left Miami, and they've kind of put him more into a DH role. Now they really were making sure that he was taking outfield reps this last season to make sure he's staying a little more limber. He's one of those guys that's just like, he's so dense and compact that is like the soft tissues, like those ligaments, those tissues are just like, I play with guys in college football that are this way. And while everyone else is doing strength training on the side, he's literally off to the side stretching and doing like body weight exercises because he can't really afford to get any more denser. He's a mesomorph of things. But what the thing is with Giancarlo Stanton just coming into this year's specific draft is that he is ranked, at least on ESPN, he's ranked 234. And just the concept of like past the 200s, going for a guy that or just coming away with a guy that is going to hit 30 plus home runs. He hit 31 home runs last season and just over like 400 at bats. So, it's just like, it's just a lot of value late in the draft. And like, I'm never someone who's ever come away with him before, but knowing that if you have 2, 3, 4, IR spots on your roster, I just feel like it's someone that is easy to come away with. And he was on pace for 43 home runs last season if you would have hit the regular 550 at bats, and he averaged 2.19 total bases per hit. So he's averaging over a double per hit. He's just got to stay on the field. So I just saw too much upside for a spot that late in the draft. And again, that kind of varies depending on the website, but that's my thoughts on Stanton.
Yeah, no, I mean, that value is pretty crazy. I've got him ranked around 130, so we'll see if he actually gets there in most drafts. My guess would be no, but you never know. All right, so we're going to finish up here with, like I said, a little bonus here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to give you some guys who kind of honorable mention. These are supposed to be quick and short, so we don't want to go into the details with these guys, but Austin, if you don't mind, I'll just kind of rip them off.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so honorable mention here, and this list came from Austin. He does the research for these. Starling Marte of the Mets, Nick Castellanos of the Phillies, Adolis Garcia of the Rangers, Austin Meadows of the Tigers, teammate Riley Green, and then Tyler O'Neill of the Cardinals, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. of the Diamondbacks, Michael Conforto of the Giants, Marcell Ozuna of the Braves. I actually do agree with that one. I think he's going to bounce back this year. People obviously are just way off of him for various reasons. Jake Fraley of the Reds, Jared Kelenic of the Mariners, little post-type sleeper maybe. Jordan Walker of the Cardinals. I believe we mentioned him in the third base preview, so go ahead and check that one out. Brett Beatty of the Mets, and then Kyle Lewis of the Diamondbacks as well. So great list there. Again, we could have made this an hour-long show, but we want to make them short and sweet for you and get in and get out and give you all the information you need. But that is our outfielders. So tune in to the rest of them. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and hey, go become a member of Fantasy Six Pack. You will not regret it. See ya.